Hi, this is Zena Harris.
And I'm Mark Rabin.
Welcome to the tie-in.
Hi, everybody. Mark and Zena here today, and we're super pumped to share with you a from the field, the tie-in behind the scenes at New York Climate Week, where I had the pleasure of interviewing Paul Schurink, who's the founder and CEO of Showpower, and also their technical lead, Tim Benson. And they showed me behind the stage their huge, I call it like a traveling, festival rig. I don't know what to call it, but it's basically like a concert rig where they have like I think it's like 1.2 megawatts of power with something like 1.6 megawatt hours of storage. That's just off the top of my head, but it's somewhere in that realm where they have um, five sort of power electronics and inverter boxes, and they have 10 other big boxes. So it's an exciting discussion.
Yeah, so you walked with them and filmed kind of all of this setup, and that's what we're going to show people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I went behind the scenes at the Global Citizen concert, which was taking place in Central Park in New York. And like literally, they had this gear off of one of the sort of the roads bisecting the park. And they had it all behind the scenes, and they had all this set up, and they had also, it was being partially backed up by a diesel generator and a huge, like sort of 53-foot truck, which you'll see as well. And yeah, they graciously gave me their time. I did a walkthrough with Tim, which you'll see on the second half of the interview, and then the first half of the interview was actually Paul giving the presentation or the pitch to a number of other journalists and affiliates in the music industry. Everybody was coming behind the scenes to see this gear.
Yeah, because what they're doing is pretty impressive. I mean, they're the folks behind powering the Coldplay stages, the main stage, not even just
Mhm.
like, something else at the concert, but the main stage. So this is the exciting stuff, and you get to see all the big batteries. This is for me in film and TV, like this is an awesome opportunity to look at, what's possible, what other like
Mhm.
forms of entertainment are doing to reduce their use of fossil fuels, and what we can learn in film and TV and apply to our specific context. And then some of these interesting battery configurations, hybridization, and all of this. So this is the really interesting stuff that I think we all benefit from when we're hearing about how it's happening in other entertainment segments.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and it's the art of the possible here. And I should note, I believe this battery setup is owned by Coldplay. So it's actually Coldplay's battery system that's been touring around the world with them. And I know that they're going to be building a new generation as well as Show Power. And they are also, I believe, fundraising to scale their business as well. They see a big opportunity here. And I should note that there are not very many clean power vendors yet right now on the market that can actually power full large concert stages. So this is a very unique look behind the scenes.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, hey everybody, I'm here with
Hi, I'm Paul Schurink from Showpower.
Awesome. And Paul, just tell us really quickly what you're doing out here and just what we have behind you.
Yeah, we have here a battery energy management system, and this system is providing the power to the main stage and the VIP area of the Global Citizen event on Saturday, September 28th.
And what's the power and energy storage capacity of this entire system here?
This system has a capacity of 1250 kilowatts, and the total energy we have in the batteries is 1,680 kilowatt hours.
Usable.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. And then we obviously have a diesel generator behind us for backup and for charging the batteries every so often when needed.
Yeah. We expect that the show will consume 3,500 kilowatt hours on the entire show day.
Yeah.
We are limited to 1,600, so we need to do a recharge during show. And we're currently figuring out whether we do this on a constant load or we just trickle charge, meaning shut down the generator, run it for a while on full power, or just level it out.
Yeah.
We're currently doing measurements to find the optimum solution to save most of the diesel consumption. We expect a savings of 65-70% fuel compared to last year edition.
What are the differences behind doing this in Europe and UK versus North America?
Well, basically there's not so much differences, but the difference is that in Europe we're already working 12 years with this technology and also with our ideas of power planning.
Yep.
So people understand, let's say vendors understand that we need their information. And in the US, vendors are used to just order services. So they say they need a 400 amp service. And we said, okay, you can have a 400 amp service, but we need to know what your powering is. So give us an inventory of your equipment, whether it's light, video, audio. And they are not used to provide that information, but they are learning quick.
So we're about 10 years behind, maybe.
Yes, in a way, but seeing the development in the US, yeah, for sure. Within 2 years, you're all on the same at the same level.
In terms of your growth plan for those new batteries, is it always going to be repurposing batteries from other?
I think in what we already minimize the communication between the inverter units, we call them now Showpower units, and the battery units. So that means that we can switch to other brands. But I strongly believe that in the near future, transport companies will run EV battery-powered trucks.
Yeah.
So we will only transport these inverter units, and once we're on site, we connect to the batteries of the truck. If required, we charge them from the grid during the show. We use these batteries.
Right.
Why should we ship around batteries if you do it on a battery-powered truck?
And when you connect to grid power, so say you're at a venue and you connect into their grid power,
exactly.
How does that work in the sales model in terms of you're selling them energy, but it's on their utilities?
Yeah. This is something, let's say for Europe, we've mapped it out. For the US, I'm not familiar yet, so we have to find out and make sure that it's all legal, possible. So, but I think coming with this relatively new, although we already power in Europe 12 years shows on batteries, so it's not that new, but on this scale, and then with the new business model, we think that you finally have as an organizer, you have the incentive to save on your energy consumption because it immediately shows off. And now people have no idea, and now it's just if you don't turn it on, you don't pay for it. And this is, actually it is normal, but for any reason.
So pay per use, that's the new business model? Or?
Yeah, in a way it is, yeah. So you pay for the capacity, so we make a calculation, this is what you need, and so much kilowatts, and then we make an estimation of the kilowatt hours, and based on that we say, okay, this will be the amount per kilowatt hour. If you save energy, if you don't consume it, you only pay for the energy you will use. Yeah, that's the idea.
So if you guys overestimate, then it's an incentive for you guys to calculate it bang on and come up with the right system.
Yeah. And I think there are a couple of reasons for us to do that. First of all, for the clients, it's much more transparent, and they finally have much better grip on their energy consumption. But this maybe sounds a bit arrogant. I think we are the only people who can really very accurately spec power and energy consumption of show. So for the competitors, it will be very difficult to compete in this business model because they don't have all the information. So it's a combination of relatively new technology in combination with,
So does
changing mindset.
Have an interest in Showpower as well?
No.
Completely independent
No,
entity?
yeah, but they really support us, so they allow us to have, to be honest, to be honest. Chris Martin is performing on stage, so that's also why they were very eager and they were pushing it to Global Citizen.
Yeah.
But we are independent. But so all the development we made is let's say on the cost of GoPlay, and they are really happy and they really see it as a legacy that we become a successful company. But for us, it's of course the best. Without GoPlay, we would not have been here.
Right.
Yeah.
They put it in their rider.
Yeah. Well, they do it for their own show, so they have a tour. We have a double set of batteries. This is, of course, the US battery set, and we have in Europe a battery set. But the inverter units, it is only one pair, so these have to be shipped. But the batteries will remain in the US. But now also, the whole system will remain in the US because next year, I think in May, they will start a US leg. So the whole system will stay here.
Yeah, we were talking about the Wembley announcement recently with their rider and the Coldplay coming for 10 days.
Yeah, and this is something we are discussing now with them because they want to do the Wembley shows without any charging. So we are looking to improve and increase the grid capacity, which we can use, but also to have more battery capacity. But with this system, we are limited to this amount. So, and we already have a design. So maybe we can make our own system already and then rent it to them, or we'll figure it out. So.
Are there parts of the production that are more stressful on the system? So thinking about if you had the stage going, but you also had a broadcast compound.
Yeah. Well, in a way, that's just let me check. I got a call to see whether it's. Oh, that's he will.
Good question.
That's the next guest, but he will call it. Lawrence, will you give Tim a call?
Yeah.
I'll answer him. That's also good.
Okay, great. Schurink, by the way, is going to join us. Great to meet you guys.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. Yeah. So I just explained a bit about the battery system. I will do this later for you again. I was now, let's say, on the energy planning, because what I see now, and this is really what I'm pointing out now here every day since I'm here at Climate Week, is now that battery technology is getting, let's say, also in the US known. Yeah. People tend to say, okay, I want to organize an event, a festival, whatever. I rent a battery and we are sustainable. And this is absolutely not the point. The battery is only, let's say, if you use it properly in a balanced energy system. So if you make, we call it a smart power plant, so a complete inventory, and you calculate how much power you need and how much energy you're going to need, that's very efficient, because with these figures you can also scale down your diesel generators or whatsoever. So if you have a smart power plant, if you don't have batteries, you're still fine. If you have batteries but you've not a smart power plant, you're not fine, because there are two options. Now there's three options. You're incredibly lucky and you choose the right size. That's very unlikely. It's too small and you have problems, maybe a power outage, and then people say, well, batteries are unreliable. That's not good. But if you have too much capacity, like in a diesel generator, you pay for the power, and if you use more energy, you just burn more fuel and you have to pay that. But here the costs are in the batteries. So if you have more energy available than you need, you completely overpay. The customer will pay for that. So you have to size it well in order to make it also economic feasible.
I want to ask, because of the season, in case of greater rain, heaven forbid, how has this been proved for climate resilience? And what kind of paints, what kind of equipment have you used to prove for climate proofing?
Well, let's say in terms of weather, it's completely, let's say, more or less weatherproof. So all the components, it doesn't matter. We've had, because we're already touring 2 years with it, so we had freezing colds, extremely hot, extremely heavy rain. So the system is capable of handling that.
In heat, are they also releasing a lot of heat because the diesel generator?
Yeah. Also, I would say if you charge and discharge a battery, you lose approximately 10% of your energy, and that's cooling. So also, if you feel here, so this is the cooling from the batteries. You can feel it a bit. There's hot, so this is energy loss.
Yeah.
and the
Invert's the same. Yeah.
But it's still 10% loss, and that's also what I mean. That if you
don't use batteries well, and I've really saw that there were people who were experimenting, and they came up with a battery system with a capacity of 500 kilowatts and almost a megawatt hour on energy, and they were only powering a production unit. The internal losses of such a system are around 20 kilowatts, and the power consumption of a production unit is between 2 and 5 kilowatts. So it completely doesn't make sense. You only in the losses are 3 times more than what you're generating or what you're supplying. So that completely doesn't make sense. And this is really this is what's happening.
So how do you get around that? Use more modular system?
Yeah, let's say our ideas based on, let's say, our experience, we found that shows which we are targeting, if you work with modules of 250 kilowatts, that's the perfect size. We don't need 150 kilowatts, we don't need bigger, because we can just parallel them. Yeah. And I said this one 168, but our own system will be 250 kilowatt hours. And we will be able to connect 4 battery units to it, so that means that we can come up with 250 kilowatts and 1 megawatt hour. So this system is now 1250 kilowatts. In the new system, we can add it to 1250 kilowatts and 5 megawatt hours. And here for the show, as we use 3,500 kilowatt hours, if we had our own system, we didn't need to charge units at all. And sometimes that's, if you really want to have no local emissions and there is no grid available, that's the way to go. But you don't have to connect them. It's very modular, so you can always use with building blocks of 250 kilowatts and kilowatt hours.
So the whole time during production and setup, you're monitoring it and powering down,
constantly.
Things
Yeah. This is exactly what Kim is now doing.
Yeah. Just so you know, the generator ride of a lifetime at the moment, it's knocking out 300 kilowatts.
Okay.
On one engine. Which is brilliant. Like just he's going to
yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. This is exactly so. This is a nice thing of batteries. With batteries you also buy time. So we have the energy in the battery. Now currently the generator is very optimized, which is very good from because let's say if you run a diesel engine below 50% of its capacity, the efficiency goes very quickly down. So you need to run it at minimum 50%. On most of the shows you will see diesel generators running on between 8 and 20%. So the efficiency is very low. If you can increase the load to on average 50%, you save half of your fuel cost. It's really the fuel will be doubled if you run on this. So currently they're running very efficient, but it's almost too. We're reaching over 80%, and you don't want to be so much.
I'd be very surprised if I never run. It's running out at the moment.
Yeah.
Are you charging the batteries right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think currently we are both charging, but at the moment we're charging.
we also redirect power directly to the show, because
If we should only charge,
I said if you charge the battery and discharge it, you will also lose approximately
10%.
So currently when we are charging, we also supply directly. We send the power also to the show,
because it doesn't make sense to only charge batteries and then from batteries put it to the show. So we always look to the most optimized configuration, and as we are fully in control of the system, that's also with this system we can change it on the spot to 400 volt, 550 hertz, whatever. We can change everything, but that's not, let's say, user friendly. So we developed the system, so we know we can operate it. But the next system will definitely have less functionalities. Let's say the interface will be limited to make it more easy to operate. But that means that you are a bit limited in the user cases, and here we can adapt to whatever installation.
And we talked a little earlier about the footprint of it, because space is a huge issue when you come up to any venue or festival.
Yeah.
They mentioned you were going to do modular stacking.
Yeah, exactly.
Will it at some point maybe look like a car that or a truck? Or
in a way.
That?
Yeah. If you look on our website showpower.com, you will see some renders of the system. So
Did you have that for Coldplay? I saw a photo with they were all on a 40-foot Flat,
there we had the one on trailer because for touring, mostly there is space and we have just on 2 trailers and we just interconnect them. That really saves time.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
And it's the space that they're expecting because they're used to that rolling up. So
and here we were very limited, so we looked to, these batteries are not designed to stick on top of each other, but we could make it work, but we just found out that it just didn't fit, so we decided not to do so. But the next generation will be for sure. Yeah. So, questions?
Well, I have a quick question. So what's been the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome over the last number of years in introducing these batteries and getting people to agree to powering a multi-million-dollar production?
Well, for this system, it was really the technical development and the commissioning, which we did, in fact, during the Coldplay shows. So we were powering live shows, 80,000 people in stadium, and we were still commissioning and adjusting the system. That's why we have also quite some redundancy, so even if we lose a battery unit or whatever. So that was really challenging, and this is also something, it comes with quite some stress. We never lost the show, we did 50. Sometimes we were pretty close, Tim. Sometimes we lost some hair. We were very good looking 2 years ago, but
We're also changing and nudging technical social behaviors, or everybody's trying to. There's a whole.
It's most important that you got a good inventory. When we started with Coldplay, their first stage design was based on the previous tour, so we started to work with the team and we looked to energy consumption, and then we start working and let's say first we gave some trainings to the creative people to let them a bit understand about power and energy, and then we start to giving some suggestions from some fixtures better not to use. And in the beginning they were completely not amused. They were not open for us technicians interfering in their creative process. But by the time it started to change, and at a certain moment it was really the other way around. They came, hey, we found battery powered fixtures, so we don't need power at all. Well, yeah, you still need, but it's very good because we can charge them during non-show, so we level that out. So first we were really towards each other, we were getting close, and the result was that the music of the Spheres stage consumes half of the energy, 50% reduction compared to the previous show.
Because of LED lights, because of
and all the fixtures. There are so many fixtures which already have been replaced, and mostly it's LED, not only but also LED. But also how you project your content. If you have content on an LED screen, you can have a white background with black letters. But white is consuming energy, black is an LED which is off. So
you're working with the artists to find the right solution.
So now it's all on black screens with white or other colored letters. And those things are very simple. And of course, it are the creatives, they must decide whether they want to do it, because the show should not be run by technicians to make it efficient. But if you work together, then all these things together make that it's really worth. And then coming with a better power solution becomes more viable.
Does the kinetic floor connect to this?
No, but they are connected to that one over there. That's Watson.
Okay.
That's a small battery system. In a way, it's the same because you also have an inverter unit and you have battery units which you can stack on it, and they are being charged by the kinetic flow, but mainly by the bikes.
Right.
And Coldplay has 3 stages: the A, B, and C. If I'm wrong, then Tim will just say, because he knows much better. He's always on the tour. But then the C stage, they do 2 or 3 acoustic songs, and that's being powered by So in terms of energy, it's a very small percentage. But if you look, a Coldplay show has 15 songs, whatever, and 2 or 3 of the songs are powered by the audience. It makes sense, and that's absolutely true.
And the Watsons, so that they have 2 sets of Watsons essentially. You have a set that any particular concert being charged, and you have a set that are big deployed. So as well as doing the C stage, they go into dressing rooms, remote parts of the stadium where they need little bits of power here and there. The disabled access new platforms have Watsons on so people charge their phone, laptops and stuff like that. So it gives the Watsons, the beauty of the Watsons is the beauty options in multiple parts of the stadium where you wouldn't necessarily run power to.
Yeah.
Wow. And the funniest thing, I find this funny, I don't know how it's full, but we need power to start our system up. Generally that will come from a mains supply from the stadium, but you can't always get that because it takes put us miles away from anywhere. So we have to jumpstart the big battery off the little battery, which I think is a nice story.
Yeah.
What's the big vision for Showpower? Are you going to have setups here in North America, setups in Europe, and start to?
Globally. Yeah. We will have global presence. We will. We keep focusing on, let's say, the major events like sports events, like this Global Citizen. Because we are not in favor to grow massive rental companies. I manage one. Tim had his own rental company. That's not our goal. But our goal is to really change the industry. So
Yes.
now, if you organize an event, people okay, we need power. We bring in diesel generator. When we retire, 2 years, if we made it,
One yesterday.
then if people start to organize an event, they should. Okay, we start with a battery energy system. And then we have batteries. Okay, and how are we going to charge them? Do we have grids? Okay, it says solar, local solar. Can we bring solar? And you have all kinds of options. And if they're all none, then the last option is a diesel generator.
Yeah.
And I still, my marketing manager, Lawrence, doesn't like me to say this, but I really like diesel generators. I only don't like them to run.
Yeah.
But to have them as a backup,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm completely fine with it. So, and this is, and with the system, you can have multiple inputs.
Have
So,
you brought your own solar? Like
no,
say it was a big, beautiful sunny day
Yeah.
and you had solar on
yeah,
the top of all
this is typically we are participating in an European research project of 14 universities. They will use one of our system, and all the development for on-site renewable energy production will be tested on the system. So we are front row to
Yeah.
find out, hey, what's in the market? Because as you supply power as a service, you not only need an energy system, you need the energies itself. So we need to generate that ourselves.
Yeah. Redundancy before that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Slightly more controversial last question. Do you view the other rental companies and other providers of power systems as competitors, or are they collaborators, or are you? Because
Absolutely.
there is quite a bit of vicious competition in the industry.
Yeah, I know. And as I said, I've been there 20 years
Yeah.
in the industry, so I know. No, I really see them as we are part of a team.
Yeah.
That has a number of specific reasons. We really want to stay focused on this. So we have, let's say, our demarcation point is the main distribution, and all the other distribution to states, that will not be our thing. So we always need to collaborate with another company. And I think we are, let's say, for the first couple of years, we are the true specialists.
Yeah.
And as we focus only on these real high-profile events,
Yeah.
to be honest, these companies, they are scared to death to do that. So they are so happy to bring us in.
Yeah.
So, and we will take over responsibility because we know what we're doing.
Well, you're teaching them as well, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure the Atlas
absolutely.
Copco folks at Lollapalooza were learning from you.
Absolutely, yeah, and the people from CES as well.
Yes.
And I'm always, when I'm on site, I'm always educating. Like now, I like to do it, but I don't see there's competition. The market is huge,
Yeah.
and I really don't have the ambition to have all the market, not at all. So
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
What's your big vision for Showpower?
changing the industry, absolutely. Now, if people organize an outdoor event, whether it's a sports event, a festival, and they think about power, they think about the diesel generator. And
Showpower.
yeah, but yeah, our vision, our ideas, people should think about Showpower, about a battery energy management system.
Yeah. And it's possible to do this now. We have the technology today to power the biggest stages in the world.
Exactly, and we've proven it with 50 co-play concepts.
Yeah.
So
So the
reliability.
data's there, reliability's there. Now it's about nudging, social behavior and leadership around this in North America.
And telling people that it is available. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
All
what
right.
we're doing here.
We'll
Yeah.
do our best.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Paul.
very much. Okay.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that very technical, nerdy walk behind the stage at Global Citizen. We also, you noticed that they were sound checking, and so noise was being picked up on the little lapel microphone. So hopefully that wasn't too distorted at times. But overall, pretty cool behind the scenes.
Totally raw and real. And these guys are, on the ground doing it at lots of concerts. So really cool to hear how they're talking about it and what they're thinking about too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big part of it, is how they start and they visualize how the event's going to go. They bring their gear out there, and then they're monitoring it throughout the whole entire event. And then obviously they're tearing it down and they're shipping it to the next event and charging them up. And so there's definitely some levels of complexity there. So yeah, really excited. That was Paul Schurink and Tim Benson from Showpower. You can check out their website at www.showpower.com. And you can also stay tuned for our actual sort of studio interview with Paul Schurink, who's the founder and CEO of Showpower. So hopefully you guys will be able to tune into that.
Hello, entertainment industry. Something I've been working on over the past year with partners U.S. Green Building Council California and Aerith Environmental is the development of the Sustainable Production for Entertainment Certification, or SPEC, as we like to call it.
It's the first certification for the entertainment workforce, and it's now live for folks to sign up.
Yeah, go to the U.S. Green Building Council California website at usgbc-ca.org to learn more about it and to register for an upcoming class. This is a great way to up your sustainability game and gain a professional certification. So this is for you. See you in class. Our designer is Aaliyah Kane. Music is by Peter Chapman. Our producer is Colin Miller.